I've tracked my calories for 280 days. I've lost 60 pounds and kept it off, but if you were to see me back in the beginning, I was burnt out, I was inconsistent, I was just stuck in that 9 to 5 rat race. I used to think guys that could track perfectly and consistently every day were superhuman. Until one day, towards the end of my fat loss journey, I was in a restaurant. My first instinct wasn't, oh man, this looks delicious. It was, oh man, like, how am I going to track this? That's when I knew that something had clicked. And here's the thing, calorie tracking doesn't need to feel like a chore, because once you build these 3 habits, it becomes second nature. Now, habit number 1 is going to be starting small. The reason why 90% of fat loss journeys fail in the first place is because people are overwhelmed. They're trying to do and take on too much. And calorie counting, like anything else in life, is a skill and you need time to practice. You don't have that time if you're bombarding yourself with all of these fat loss things in the space of 48 hours. Here's what I tell some of the guys that I work with that just have a little bit of a tougher time getting to grips with calorie counting just because of the nature of their job and the hours that they work. You can start off with just one meal, maybe just one day. And then you up that the next day or you up that the next week. The way that you start calorie counting consistently is the same way you weight train. We just progressively overload over a period of time. Number 2 is something that I get so much hate for on Instagram and TikTok. And I don't know why, because it is arguably one of the best strategies that can help you with calorie counting. It can help you stay consistent. It can make dieting so much easier. It can stop your cravings. And the funniest part is that the people that hate on it haven't even tried it. And that is going to be eating the same thing every single day, if not the similar sorts of foods every single day. This has so many benefits. It builds consistency all around. It keeps your fat loss journey simple, which we always say around here, complexity is the biggest killer of a fat loss journey. And guess what? For you, the reason why you're watching this video, it makes calorie tracking a whole lot easier. When I was making all of these low calorie recipes, like one day I'd make a low calorie pizza, then I'd make a low calorie stir fry. It was just so much. I'd spent so much time getting the recipe, getting the ingredients and making the food. That in itself, if you're like me, just completely stresses you out. I'd have a meltdown trying to make that stuff. I'm trying to weigh things. I'm trying to track things. Can you just see how even now I'm just getting so frustrated thinking about the process that I would have to have gone through a few years ago. You can cut out all of that. You can just, if you just have your food that is meal prepped and you have the same thing every single day. Yes, you can have some variety, change the meat and change the vegetables here and there. But if you're serious about calorie tracking, which I assume you are if you're watching this video, then becoming very mechanical in your day-to-day processes, it's what's going to help you shred through fat. And this becomes even more important if you're a guy who's working a busy job or a very demanding job, because the last thing that you need added onto your plate is things that take up more time, because you've got this much time as it is. And here's the thing, I feel really, really bad right now because I kind of told you a little bit of a lie. I said that last tip was my most controversial tip, but it really wasn't. And it's a mental concept that I have coined bathing in other people's suffering. You see, when we're losing fat, something that a lot of fat loss coaches hide from is the fact that you're going through a whole identity shift. When you come and work with me, I'm not trying to get you to lose fat. Yes, I am to an extent. But I'm trying to get you to become a new person. Think of it like the lottery. If you just give somebody a bunch of money that has never had to work for it, within a week, they're going to piss it down the drain. It's the same thing with you right now in your current state. If I give you the body that you want and that you desire, I hate to say this to you, but I'm here to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. If I give you that dream body right here, right now, you'd fuck it up by next week. So we need to craft a new identity. And the way that we do that is through bathing in other people's suffering. So what do? Those times where things get very, very tough, when you get back from work and you open the door and you know that you have to eat and you see the scale on the counter, you know the food that you need to eat and you're thinking, oh man, like, do I really have to do this right now? Those are the moments, right, when you're in that chaos in your mind. I need you to think to yourself, and this is kind of like a very dark trait that I use, but it works like a charm. What you need to do in those moments is think to yourself about all of the people that you know personally or just random people in the world that in your current situation right now would quit and would fold. And in that split second, you need to think to yourself, oh no, I disassociate with that crowd. I am not that type of person. I'm not with this crowd anymore. I am becoming this person. I do these people things, not these people things. So learning that in your toughest, darkest moments, this is where 99% of the population would quit and would fold. That's where you thrive and that's where you excel. It will take you maybe 2 to 5 seconds. But that stress and that chaos that you were feeling from that day at work, at that sales call, at that meeting, will slowly just reinvigorate you and put a fire up inside of you, because you just have this high of knowing that I'm going to do this thing, knowing that the majority of the population wouldn't do it, and I'm putting myself one step further, one foot in front of the other, of achieving my goals. One of the most powerful tips that I have not shared on this channel. This tip is life-changing, and you need to implement it immediately. Now, for those of you that know, I've reopened my one-on-one coaching, and if you do want to work with me, you can fill out an application and the link's going to be in the pinned comment. We don't accept everybody, so if I do get back to you, congratulations, I see potential and I'd love to work with you. Hope to see you on a call, but YouTube thinks this video is going to help you lose your first £10, so it'd be silly of you to not watch it.